Well, I am woke now, and I can prove it. Here you go. I love illegal immigrants. Yeah, sue me now. Sometimes I go down to Dover for the day, right? And I look out, right? And look for a boat, and I see a dinghy with about 60 of them, and I go over here, like, right? And I pull them into shore, and I go, women and children first. They go, there are no women and children. Just you lads, is it? Just come on, lads. Come on, lads. If I go down there one day and there's no boat, I am absolutely fucking gutted. I don't know.
Right from the start, Ricky Gervais doesn't hold back, launching a full-scale comedic assault on the absurdities of modern woke culture. Renowned for his sharp wit and defiance of Hollywood's virtue-signaling rules, Gervais has set out to reveal the hypocrisy of celebrities following this new cultural phenomenon. Originally a movement for social awareness, woke culture has rapidly descended into something more like a competition for who can appear the most virtuous. And Gervais is here to tear it down one joke at a time.
If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and off, okay?
This was Ricky Gervais at the 2020 Golden Globes, delivering one of the most memorable and biting speeches in recent award show history. In a few words, he used his platforms to preach about social justice issues, destroying the whole facade of celebrities. Of course, the irony resides in the fact that many of these same stars lead lives of such great luxury and excess that their connection to the real world is tenuous at best. With his sharp humor, Gervais exposes the self-righteousness and compels everyone to face the truth. Hollywood's wokeness is often just for show. Apple roared into the TV game with The Morning Show, a superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. With this jab, Gervais exactly hit the mark. Even though they rarely practice what they preach, celebrities love to speak to the rest of us about ethical behavior, social justice, and climate change.
Nothing. If it's too hot, we're all dead. I don't even have kids, and I'm worried about everybody else's kids, and that's how the 94% votes anyway.
Gervais was fast to call out Apple, whose executives and stars live in the limelight of their TV success while neglecting the terrible reality of the labor conditions supporting their business. At its best, this is hypocrisy, and Gervais is not hesitant to draw back the curtains. And not only Apple, Hollywood itself is full of contradictions. From fancy private planes to multi-million-dollar homes, the way the typical celebrity lives is the reverse of the values they advocate in public. The humor of Gervais reveals this obvious disparity.
I just sort of wander into town and I stand by the traffic lights and I wait for a big lorry to pull up, right? And I look underneath and there's a lad sort of clutching like that. And I go, where you headed? And he goes, Gary Lineker's house. I go, it's just down there. Things, you know, because I'm not doing it for the 200 egos in the room. I'm doing it for the 200 million people watching around who aren't winning awards, who aren't millionaires. And freedom of speech is so important these days. I've reached the age now where I don't care anymore.
Gervais criticizes the overblown wokeness that have become all too common in celebrity culture using his trademark sarcasm. These exaggerated performances aren't about real change. They're about looking good in front of a camera, scoring woke points, and keeping up appearances. Gervais doesn't buy into the act, and neither should we. He exposes performative activism for what it is: shallow virtue signaling that does little to solve the real problems of importance. Gervais isn't hesitant to show us how ridiculous that has gotten, since it's easier to seem woke in today's society compared to actually making a difference.
So you can't second guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues, and sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that. But, you know, you can't legislate against stupidity.
One of the most important components of Gervais's method is his refusal to sacrifice his comedy in order to please the masses. Gervais sticks to his conviction that comedians have to challenge limits even in a society where offense appears to be taken at every turn. To him, comedy is useless if it won't challenge people, inspire thought, and, yes, occasionally make people uncomfortable. Time and again, he has made it abundantly evident. He is not here to bring everyone happiness. He is here to tell the truth, regardless of how awkward some find it to be. This is where Ricky Gervais's actual creative brilliance shines. His comedy is about holding a mirror to society and pushing us to face the conflicts we sometimes prefer to ignore, as well as about laughs. Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. By the end, his date was too old for him. Another flawless illustration of Gervais's ability to strike a mix between comedy and a more profound message was the roast of Leonardo DiCaprio. Known for dating women much younger than himself, DiCaprio was a prime target for Gervais, who wasted no time in calling out the ridiculousness of his dating past. Beyond the comedy, though, is a more general criticism about Hollywood's fixation on image and youth, and the way these ideals sometimes run counter to the progressive messages these stars support. Even DiCaprio himself laughed, demonstrating that, at least in this case, even the subject of the joke understood the hypocrisy. In any case, Gervais has made his point abundantly clear. It is acceptable for transgender people to feel offended. This particular Supernature special is a great illustration of his ability to push the limits of what is possible. There is one particular moment that has everyone talking, and there is a good reason for this. Gervais, as is his custom, took a swing at the entire debate regarding gender pronouns, and he did not hold back whatsoever. Now, let's get to the part that everyone was paying attention to. The attitude of Gervais is timeless, somewhat outrageous, and somewhat hilarious. He is in essence making fun of the inconsistencies that have been brought up in the debate regarding pronouns and toilets. It's almost as if he's holding up a mirror to the absurdities and saying, look, this is how complicated it's getting. The humor in this piece is witty and the joke packs a powerful punch. In other words, it is a direct attack on what Gervais considers to be the excesses of contemporary identity politics. Despite the fact that you are somewhat taken aback by the lengths to which he is willing to go, you can't help but laugh. In a manner that only he is capable of, he is taking a serious matter and pointing out the ridiculousness of it. This is causing you to laugh while simultaneously making you think about it. Gervais compelled all of us to take a more in-depth look at the messages that are being crammed down our throats by pointing out the hypocrisy of celebrities who claim to be morally conscious.
Yeah, but you shouldn't hurt people's feelings. Well, you can if their feelings are wrong.
Yeah.
If you don't like the facts, don't change the facts, change the feelings. You know.
Gervais pulls no punches when it comes to modern identity politics. Though some may find his jokes on gender, pronouns, and cancel culture offensive, they encourage everyone to face the complexity and inconsistencies of the current realities. Gervais remains among the most discussed comedians worldwide since he is not hesitant to cause people to feel uncomfortable. Comedy for him is about honesty, even if some people find it difficult to hear. As he has observed before, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right.
So then they try and do this thing. Oh, you should never punch down. You should punch up. Well, who's to say what's up and down is?
Yeah, it's a subjective.
So you're deciding who's down and who's up. No. You don't get to do that.
Ricky Gervais has become one of the few voices ready to expose the paradox in a society that values virtue, signaling above significant action. Though controversial, his humor stems from a need to reveal the truth. That which might be mocking Hollywood's hypocrisy or challenging the progressively complex character of woke culture. While the performances of wokeness have only gotten more elaborate since his famous Golden Globes takedown, Gervais isn't letting up. His advice is still the same. Stop acting as though you are better than everyone else and begin living the values you say are important. As long as Hollywood keeps preaching from its ivory towers, Ricky Gervais will be there, ready to tear down their walls with his signature brand of cutting humor. Do you agree with Ricky Gervais's assessment of woke celebrities? Should the entertainment industry begin to put its words into action? Tell us what you think in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more videos in which we reveal the inner workings of celebrity culture.